Hi everyone, today we're going to learn how to use the library website. My name is Cynthia Henry and I'm the librarian for the College of Human Sciences. I worked with Dr. Miller to get this set up for your curriculum class and curriculum development class, and let's begin. So I start off at the library website. That would be the URL of library.ttu.edu. That is not the same URL as it is up here, but that will get you there and it's easy to remember. Again, it's just library.ttu.edu. And then if we would just be in the center of this website, this is a basic search for OneSearch. Most of our stuff is digitized, so you could find that there. But I like to get you really into a little bit more customized information for your class. So if we'll go ahead and click on this personal librarians link, it's the blue square in the center here. I'm going to click on the personal librarians. Then I'm going to scroll down to get to human sciences. Now I'm going to open family and consumer sciences, that link there. And then we're going to go ahead and find the tab that has your class listed. It's 5302 curriculum development in family consumer sciences education. So I'm going to click on that tab. Now this information has really specifically been built for you, for your class specifically, with Dr. Miller and I collaborating on this website. You can see my contact information is here on the right. You can email me or you can even request an appointment, and it has a calendar there that you can book a time that is convenient for you. Here in the center is some databases. Let's just talk about the few that we have listed here. As Academic Search Complete, which is a very broad, generic database, but has certain resources that Dr. Miller is really wanting you to focus on as well. So these journals are highlighted in these databases. So then the next one is ERIC. That's really good information written from the government on anything about education. From K through even through college, so K through higher education. And then we have Education Source. Again, this database has certain journals that you may be focusing on in your class per Dr. Miller. And then we have JSTOR, and this list here is all the journals that are indexed into JSTOR. And then the last one that we have here is Directory of Open Access Journals. So when you're doing research, any one of these would be really good information for you to get in and start looking around. Of course, if you're looking for a specific article from one of these journals, you can find the journal quickly and then just go to that journal and search for that information. So I'm going to go ahead and look around at some of these outside edges before we get into the middle of the databases. If you've not been using Google Scholar very much, I encourage you to marry Google Scholar with the library at Texas Tech, and these are the steps to do that. I'll show you that in just a minute as well, but you'll always have them here. Then over here on the left, there's some information on how to write course goals and objectives, and that information came straight from Dr. Miller. So this resource is very useful as y'all are doing that in this class. So let's go ahead and get into a Education Source database. It's the third one down. So I'm going to click on that. It's going to take me to that database. Okay, so in this database, I like to always point out that when we clicked on the title, Education Source, then we landed in here, you can see the Education Source title here. It is not EBSCO. So I like to point that out because a lot of times a student will come into my office and say, oh, I found the best article for myself for my research, but I thought I emailed it to me and the email never came in, but I know that I was in EBSCO. Well, we have a lot of databases from EBSCO. So Education Source is the true title of this database. EBSCO is the vendor. So you kind of can think about that as like you want to know the cookie name like Oreo, not the brand name like Nabisco. So just make sure that you are clear on where you're searching. And then I'm going to click on Advanced Search. I like this screen because it just gives me a few more boxes to do some searching in. And then I'm going to make sure that I mark the scholarly peer-reviewed journals. At this level, you should be using those materials. Let's go ahead and look for curriculum development. And we'll run a search real quick just so you can see how we're going to narrow this down. So we have over 20,000 hits. But let's go ahead and put in what kind of curriculum we want to be looking at. Today I'm going to search for financial. You don't have to. You can search for whatever you need to as well. So I'm just going to put in financial and then click search. So now I'm running a search that has the limiters of scholarly peer reviewed. We're looking for the keywords curriculum development and financial are our keywords. Then I have about 178 here. I'm going to go ahead and update my date range because I'm not going to look at something that old. So let's go ahead and put it into 2010, or you can do 2015 if you rather. And so I'm at 77. That is a really good set. Now, I'm not going to look at anything that's more than 100. I know you won't either. And I'm not going to be too excited if my result set is like 10, 15, 20, because maybe just changing my keyword might be something I could do and then bring back some more results. So sometimes just having a synonym of your word will allow you to see different results. So a good example of that is instead of using like teenager, you may want to use the word adolescent. And so you could see the difference here. So let's look at one of these 77. I'm going to click on this first link. So that's the title of the article, and when I click on that title, it will put me into the result, into the record of this item. So let's talk about the pieces here. The title is Enhancing the Learning Performance of Passive Learners in a Financial Management Class Using Problem-Based Learning. So that's the title to the article. Here's our authors. Here's the source. So it's the Journal of University Teaching and Learning Practice, and that's from 2019. Volume 17, Issue 1. Now, sometimes the issue number is sitting in parentheses. So anytime you see something sitting in parentheses, that's the issue number. Also, journals are published in a variety of ways. Some are even published seasonally. So you can sometimes see the words like fall or summer sitting there. Don't let that throw you. The other thing that is nice is if you look over here on the right side, you can click this little cite, and if you click on that, it will help you build the citation for this item. So here is different styles. You probably will be using the APA. You could just grab that, drop that into an email for yourself or onto a Word document, however you're going to store your research. And look here. Something that should not be necessarily included is their emails. So if once I drop that over there, I make sure to clean up this citation, making sure that only the pieces that you need come over. I'm going to go ahead and click close here, and that makes me back on that record. Now let's look at the next pieces of this record. You have the subject terms here, and you have the author supplied keywords. Now, author supplied keywords are useful. That's what the author knows what he or she has been writing about, and they are the terms that they list here. But these subject terms is how this article is indexed into this database. And having that sitting there for you, let's see if we were really looking for something that curriculum planning might be better than curriculum development. So I may want to use that term in the future. And looking at these terms helps me identify other good terms, especially if I found something that was really on target and I wanted to find more like that. Using these terms back up in my search will help me pull those things up. Then, of course, here is the abstract. It's just the summary of the article, as you probably know. And then let's say we wanted to read this. How would we go about doing that? Well, so over here on the left, we see this PDF, full text. A lot of times you're going to see this Adobe icon, but not always. So just look around for that on the page. When you click on it, it's going to take you to the PDF. And the PDF is a really good tool to read. Sometimes you have the option of HTML text, and I encourage you not to use those unless that's the only copy you can get, because the PDF is actually like a scanned copy of the printed journal. so that it's going to have any pictures, charts, graphs, that kind of thing. Any visual elements will be listed in the PDF, whereas on the HTML, it is just the article text from the top to the bottom. You don't know where the page breaks. You don't know where there's no charts or graphs or anything like that. So that's why I always encourage you to use the PDF. The other nice thing is we all try to write down our PDF, our citation information. But if we forget, most of the time you can build it from the PDF, because here you see the page numbers, you see the journal here, the volume, the year, the issue, and of course on the front page it will have the authors and the title to the article, so you have a lot of information from here. And look, they even say here's a recommended citation. So that's one additional thing that is really good about the PDF. The other thing is, when you see me scroll around, you can see that this little black bar comes up. Make sure you use this download and this print for the PDF, not this outside frame. This outside frame will just email you this information, really like the citation. Sometimes it might include the PDF, but not always. So just be clear to yourself, I need to email that or print that in this format. Download it or print it here. Okay, I'm just going to click back, and I'm back in my record for this article. I'm going to click on this results list, and I will go back to our results that we were looking at to begin with. Well, there we go. And let's just look around a bit here. So we can see the PDF from this frame as well. So if I knew that that was something I really wanted to read anyway, and I didn't need to look at the abstract right at the moment, I could go straight to this PDF. I'm going to scooch down and see, oh, and here's sometimes you have the PDF, sometimes you have the HTML. Again, I encourage you to have the PDF. Let's see if we can find anything that is not. Okay, here. So number 8, we do not have a PDF sitting here for this record from this article. But we could use this Find It button. This Find It button is going to help you in all the databases. And so it's our links resolver. And so if you just click on it, it's going to search all of our other databases to see if we have this article in another location. And it's going to tell us if we do or not as it loads up. So you can see it says Find Online. It says no full text available. Well, dang, we don't have any full text, but we could still request this by using this request button. If I click on that, then I will land into our interlibrary loan document delivery account. So I'll show you how that works. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. So I'm requesting this right from the database. It pulled in the information here, and so you can see all the pieces are sitting here. All I have to do is scroll to the bottom and hit Submit Request. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to get this article, but I would just hit Submit Request, and it would then allow me to have that article delivered to me in about 48 hours. Our interlibrary loan department really works hard to do that turnaround in 48 hours during the business week. So if you put in a whole bunch on Monday morning, you definitely will be reading by Wednesday. But if you put in a whole bunch Friday afternoon, just realize they don't work Saturday and Sunday, and so it will be Monday or Tuesday before you get that information. Monday afternoon or Tuesday morning, depending on what time you put it in on Friday. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close this window so that I am back in my links resolver screen. I'm going to close this window, and I'm back in my results list. Okay, so then we're going to look to see if we can find one more Find It that might be useful. No, I don't think that will be useful to us. So let's change our search real quick. I'm going to look for nutrition now. I'm going to scoot down and find one more and see if we can find the other kind of example I want to show you, where you find it in a couple of places. So then you get to pick. So we've seen it where we had to order it from document delivery, and we've seen it where it went full text straight for us. And this time we can see that it's only in one place here too. Usually this means that we have it in more than one place, but I'm going to go ahead and click on the collection that we have it in, and it will pull it up for us. So I just need to know the title and its pairing feeding. So let me just see if I can go down and find that real quick. Pairing feeding content with a nutrition. So then I can download the PDF, and you can see that it is in a slightly different format as the other ones that we've seen before. So one good thing I like to say is whenever you're on the database screen and you open an article and you can't figure out where to find that article, like you've looked around a couple of times and maybe you're having a hard time, there's no PDF right here. If you will send this line to me, I'd be happy to look for you. I need the source line because I need this information. You can send the author and the title if you want to, but this is the information I really need. And I will either send you back the PDF itself, or I will tell you, oh, this is something you need to interlibrary loan, and then I usually send you the citation information with that. So that is a little bit about how to navigate the databases. I'm going to go ahead and click back onto our link here, the page, the tab with my page on, with my picture on it. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about Google Scholar. So I'm going to pull that up, and then I'm going to show you how to do these steps right here. Let's see. Let me get another tab, and I'm going to pull my Google Scholar up. For you to make this work from your computer at home or anywhere that is not on campus, just go ahead and open Google Scholar. Then you're going to see these three lines to the left. Click on that. Now you're going to look for settings. Now, depending on the size of your screen, settings may be down here, or it might be a little gear up here next to the words Google Scholar. Just look around for this little Google gear icon. I'm going to click on settings. Then I'm going to click on library links that is right there in the center. And then I'm going to make sure that I say Texas Tech, but nothing else. And I'm going to make sure that the Texas Tech University Libraries full text at TTU Lib. You check it, and then if you happen to have those Open World Cat checked, that's fine. Don't worry about it. But if you have anything else checked down here, make sure you uncheck it. You don't have privileges at the Health Science Center or at the law, so go ahead and uncheck those. Click Save. And now let's run a similar search that we were doing. So I'm going to do curriculum development. There it is. And let's add in financial. Oops, I misspelled it. Sorry, guys. That's in it. So now I have curriculum development and financial. So what I'm looking for now is this. So I'm looking for this big FT at TT Lib. If I click on that, you're going to see that we're back to our links resolver page. And I'm either going to be able to see the article itself by following all the steps that we would have to do with our links resolver that we saw with the find it button, or I could order the request this item right from this screen. The only thing with Google Scholar you need to be aware of is that you have to click back, whereas the databases open it into a new window. See this FT at TTU Lib, that's how we get the full text, but all these other ones, how would we do that? I'm going to click on this little icon here, the two chevrons, and it will have get it at TTU. So I'll click on that. And we're back on our links resolver screen, and we can see we can use it just like we were using the find it button in the databases. So we have the two collections we can read this in, or if we didn't have those options, we could still use the request it button to order this article. So I'm going to click back onto Google Scholar one more time just so we can talk a little bit more about the layout of Google Scholar. So again, this is the title for the items that we're looking at, mostly articles, but you can say this is a PDF, this is a book. That means it's probably an ebook that we have or somebody has, and you can look at that. You can tell the difference because it'll tell you it's a book at the front, and this is offered in Google Books. And this one tells you exactly that's the title. Here's the author's Journal of Financial. Something is providing access to this. Or the one below here, the Journal of Further and Higher Education. So that's how you read the information on Google Scholar. Also, if you wanted to cite these, you can use this little site. And it again will open it up and build the APA for you, and you can copy and paste that into a Word document or your email, whichever is most useful to you, or however you're going to store your own research. Remember, this is not in the right format because it doesn't have the hanging indentation, and APA has to have the hanging indentation. So make sure you're editing those citations, but it's getting most of the pieces right for you. So I'm going to go ahead and click Close. And then the only other thing that I would like to show you on my page, I'm going to get back on that tab, is how to set up your interlibrary loan account. We're going to look at these library services. I'm going to show you how to set up your interlibrary loan account if you haven't ever done that before. We're going to click on interlibrary loan. You should land on a screen where you will see sign in using your e-rater. If it puts you right into the account, that means that looks like this, a page that looks like this. That means that you've already set up your account and have signed in somewhere else before landing here today. If you did sign in with your e-rater and then you landed on a screen where you have to fill out information for an account, you're just creating your interlibrary loan account, or what we call our Iliad account for the library. This is how document delivery delivers all that information. What happens when you request something is that it comes in here. We were looking at examples in this format, and I would hit submit. Then back on the main page, you could see those being requested here. They're being processed in this location. And then I would receive an email to my TTU email, because they will only reply to your TTU email, that, oh, your information is ready, your PDF is ready, it's sitting in electronically received area so that you can go in there. So here, the electronically received, you click on that. Then it is, the PDFs are sitting here. You can find whichever one you have. You probably only have 1 or 2 or 3, maybe more. You can order as many as you want, but you may not have as many as I have here sitting. So don't stress over that. So you can see that these end up having an expiration date. So just be mindful, but it's usually longer than the semester that you're in. I like to see them sitting here. Once I open it, I can download it and print it just like I did any other article that I found on the library website. I'm just going to click back so I'm back in that screen. But if it's later in the semester and it's already been deleted or because it expired, and you wanted to find something that you used 2 semesters ago, you could do that easily here with the tools, with under the view, and say all requests or request history, and then you can see everything that you've recorded in the past and say, oh, I can maybe remember that article title or that author's name, and then come in here and look it up that way. From the main menu, you can see you can request anything that is listed here. So feel free to do so. If you actually are requesting books, that's going to come in a physical format. So be conscious of what you're requesting. Again, if you need help finding something, maybe you found a physical book and I can help you find an electronic book, let me know. I'd be happy to do that. Just email me. Again, you can email me from this page. My email contact is there, and the request there would be to set an appointment. Of course, I would be available so you can meet with me. One other kind of search I wanted to show you before we look at other things is how to find one of these journals that Dr. Miller recommended. So I'm just going to grab one that I'm going to look for. So I'm going to look for the Journal Curriculum and Instruction. I'm going to open the database that it says it's indexed in. I'm going to go ahead and click on Advanced Search because I want to use more than one box here. So I'm going to go ahead and put in the journal name there. I'm going to look for this SO journal name. Now in this box I could put in the author or any part of the title that I remembered. But if I don't remember any of that and I know it's an article out of here and maybe I remember the volume and the issue, I just go click search. Then I just make sure that this first one is from this journal. It is. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click on Journal of Instruction, Curriculum and Instruction. Now I can find an older copy of this. So if I needed to be 2013, Volume 7, Issue 2. Then all the items that are in this issue are now listed here. All the articles out of this issue are now listed here. So I could look around and see which one I needed and download them. Or download them all if that is something that I'm interested in doing. Okay, so that is how to use the library resources listed here. We learned how to use the databases in the center. We learned how to set up our interlibrary loan account. We learned that we have some resources on writing our course goals and objectives from Dr. Miller. We can click on this link and go straight to those resources. We learned how to make Google Scholar work for us. And we learned that we could email me or request an appointment right all from this screen. This might be a screen that you would want to bookmark so you can come back to it quickly and use it over and over again. Again, my name is Cynthia Henry, and I am the College of Human Sciences librarian. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email me or reach out in any way that you would like. I think, yeah, my phone number is here. If you ever see that I'm green on Skype, feel free to IM me. That's what I'm here for. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.